All right, during your next meeting, training session, or conference presentation, or even a small presentation, consider planting some softball questions within your audience. Because here's the thing, as a facilitator, instructor, presenter, it is a gut-wrenching feeling after you've presented for 45 minutes and you get to the end and you open it up for questions and it's silence. It's just like blank faces looking back at you. It's a really gut-wrenching, anxiety-inducing feeling. It can be quite awkward. I'm speaking from experience, and so I've learned to plant questions in the audience. And this is really good for large presentations. It's also good for smaller formats, a training session or even a group meeting, an in-person meeting, because it gets the conversation going. Obviously, there's questions. People don't ask questions for all sorts of reasons, and it helps just to get it going. And so what I'll do is before the meeting or presentation, whatever it is I'll find a couple people in the audience that I know and trust, and I'll say, hey, when we get to the end, if it's quiet, can you go ahead and ask this question or that question? And I'll come up with my own ideas. And then I'll ask them if they have any questions that they would want to ask. Feel free to do that too. And I usually ask them to ask about topics that I can't go into a lot of detail during the presentation because it might derail the flow, or there's just not enough time allotted, or it might feel like we're lingering too long, or it might be a frequently asked question that I just want to make sure that we really clarify at the end by making a specific point. So those are the types of things that I will want to reserve for that Q&A session. And sometimes this is not a problem. Sometimes people just, open up and they have all sorts of questions, but I always anticipate the silence so we can start that dialogue flow. Now, I'll tell you, if you can find a senior person in the room, an expert, someone with authority to ask a question, that's even better. That's golden, because once that senior authoritative person starts asking questions, then other people feel like it's safe and it's okay to ask questions, especially in front of your colleagues or in front of your boss. So that's my tip to get engagement going and to get conversation going. I mean, that's really when the good conversation happens anyway, right? It's during that Q&A session when people kind of share their stories and their opinions. So we really, really want to open that up and make it feel really safe and comfortable to have that conversation. So pick 2-3 people, ask a couple questions at the end, get the conversation going, find a senior person. And if you have any other tips on how to engage your audience during any of those formats, a meeting, a training session, or a presentation, please, I'd love to hear them. So drop them in the comments below. I really do appreciate y'all. Thanks.